Let me tell you about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll call it the Gotga. That's cool, to say the Gotga. It's not cool? Well, damn it then. We'll leave the Gotga. Let me tell you about Guardians of the Galaxy though. I just saw it and man, that film was good. Here we go. Right, Peter Quill, Star-Lord. Kick-ass. He wears red shit. All the best people wear red shit. Dante, he wears a red long coat. Looks cool, white hair, but he's got blonde hair. It's similar. And he's got like these jet things, and he can like fly around. He's got like taser guns, but not like lame taser guns. They like shoot balls of energy, and like you see the electrical bolts go through the body. It looks sick. Not like through the body. It's like a laser beam on the outside. Gamora, she is fine for an alien, and she just kicks ass. She ain't really got any special weapons or abilities. She's Thanos' daughter, but none of them are real daughters. They're all like not real daughters. You're adopted. Groot, played by Vin Diesel. When they played, he just says, I am Groot. Spoiler alert, at one point he says, we are Groot. So, you know, he tried. Rocket Raccoon, I didn't know why all the fuss about him. He's funny, and because he's a raccoon, it's funny to see when he's walking, he'll like pull his shirt and be like, oh, this ain't fitting right. And it's like, oh, that's funny. Drax the Destroyer is just this big, he's a big guy, dude. He is big. And, dude, his shoulder, that bit on his shoulder is like ridiculously big. Okay, let's get on to some of the supporting cast. We got Merle from The Walking Dead. It's nice to see him out walking and not dead. References. Yeah, so Merle's in it, and he has got the coolest weapon in the galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like an arrow that he kind of whistles at. He doesn't even lift his arms. I was going to lift it, but he doesn't. He just has his arms by his side, whistles, and his arrow comes out. It can take down fleets of guys, takes out ships. Right, let's talk about the bad guys. Ronan's there, and then you're like, hey, you know, you're cool. What's up? Where's Thanos? Even at one point when Ronan's like, Thanos, I'ma come kill you, you're like, Thanos, I totally whoop your ass. You don't even know. Thanos' daughters, one of them betrays him and goes with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's how all that happens. And the other one is the bad one, and she's like half a cyborg on one side. She looks real. She's put together really well. She looks like crazy. But I want to look at you intensely for like 5 minutes. Just you stood. I want to see what you're made of. So there's kind of a rivalry going on all through the film between the two sisters who aren't real sisters, just the two people. This is all getting very confusing for me in my brain mind. Let's talk about the worlds, dude, serious. The Xandar, it's like Coruscant. It's like Coruscant of this universe, and it's super, super clean. And then at one point, Gamora says, when they're flying to go and meet somebody, she's like, we're meeting him in a space station that's made of a giant head of a real being that used to exist. Who was that then? They must have been giant. Let's talk about the structure of this beast. Right, it starts off with I like to call them 2 intros. It's the intro of the film, and then the intro of the characters, is the way I kind of get it, the tone of it all. You start off by seeing little kid Quill back on Earth, everything's hunky-dory, and then how he came to be, you know, in space, because he's in space. And then you see Space Quill 26 years later doing his thing, like he's lived there his entire life, or since a young child, which he was. And now, we come on to the 3 stages of an action film. I was going for like David Attenborough there. I can do a bit of Joe Swanson. Beta. You say, what we have here? Nah, I lost it. What we have here is the 3 stages of an action film. Like, starting off with some good action, showing you what the action will be like, then like a bombastic action scene that you think was wicked, and then the ending, which should blow your socks off. So the first one is kind of establishing these characters working together, letting you know what their roles will be within the film. Like when an action scene comes up, who's going to be kind of the guy who runs off and does nothing basically, and the guy who will always have the solution to the problem. People who've seen the film should know who these people are. And then the second fact comes along, which is like space action and floor action. It's all kicking off. You're thinking this is wicked. Near deaths. Spoiler alert. Wrong way round. And then the final battle, which is over this Xandar, which is the Coruscant of this world. Sorry I keep using that, but I am. And they're just going for it. There's air fights, there's ground fights, there's more air fights, there's air to ground fights. It's crazy, dude. Seriously. I want to watch it again. It was so so bombastic. Those scenes were fucking crazy, and they looked sick as well. Like, the graphics sometimes is lacking a little bit, but here it doesn't, and I think it's the quantity of it. I think there's so much of it that any normal shit would actually be weird. Right, so the crossover is Thanos, the Collector, and I think the Collector has a Dark Elf in there, which is Thor 2 stuff, so Thor 2 wins! Let me sum it up like this. Right, I've been trying to sum it up for some time now, and I think this is going to be the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to compare this to the Avengers, like, directly. As Avengers went, they had the whole build-up thing and the more epic shit happening all the time, but it was very internal struggle with all these superpowers, which was kind of cool, but they did it too much. Like, towards the end, it just got too crazy, because it was like, they're fighting all the time, oh, and then they become superheroes, and they're still kind of fighting, and like, one scene in particular, the Hulk punches Thor off of a freaking thing. I'm just like, why did you do that? There's gonna be an alien infestation over the world, and I'm gonna punch Thor. What if he landed oddly on his neck and killed himself? Didn't think about that. Or maybe you did. Maybe you just didn't care. Maybe you thought it'd be funny. Well, it wasn't funny. Yo, I'm a superhero. I'm not gonna, you know, they're gonna be perfect in a way. And these guys, Guardians of the Galaxy, were more believable when they were doing all these things. They were all misfits that then came together and made one functioning unit. So that's it. That's how I'm going to do it. Let me know how I did in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of the film. I'm not really good at this whole review thing and talking to the camera. That's why I've just been like spastic the whole time. So this is pretty much what's get it out! Get it out of my body! This is pretty much what it's going to be like when I'm doing reviews and stuff. Just going to be me chatting loads of shit, loads of spoilers and that. So I'll be seeing ya.